Hey guys, RPM here. Hope y'all doing well and having a really great day. In this video, I need to change the thermal pads on this Zotac RTX 3080, and this is a non-LHR GPU. And straight away, I just started mining on it, and it's getting about 100 degrees Celsius on the memory temperatures, and that is horrible. That is very bad. As you guys know, this Zotac card, I recently made a video comparing it to a LHR Zotac Trinity 3080. And it was great, right? It was a great comparison, but this GPU, when I was testing it, it was definitely having some issues of it throttling, and in most cases sometimes it was taking a lot more power. I want to see in this video if once I change the thermal pad, I will change the thermal pads on the back and the front and give it new thermal paste as well. I want to see if, you know, I can lower the fan speed and also see if we can save some power and also change the overclocks when we're mining Ethereum on this non-LHR 3080. And really the biggest thing for me, I'm going to be placing that 3080 Zotac into my Octominer server case, and I actually took it out of this Octominer X8 Ultra Plus initially because some of you guys may have saw that video. I have all 3080 non-LHRs in this X8 Ultra Plus, and it was great having them all in here, but that Zotac that I had in the very top, I believe, was having thermal throttling issues. And so I think it's best that I change the thermal pads, as I will be placing it back into here, which we'll do in this video. Thank you to Octominer for also sponsoring this video. As you guys know, I have a bunch of Octominer cases. I love them. And I have shown in many videos, especially in my barn videos, that these are very, very efficient when it comes to mining. And one of the biggest things that I love about these server cases is the airflow. It's being directed through the GPUs in an enclosed space, and so they'll be able to cool a lot better. And hopefully come summertime, as you guys know, summer is going to be coming in about a couple months, and so I will update you guys on the temperatures of all the GPUs that are in these server cases when that time comes. That's gonna be fun. So thank you, Octominer guys. Go check them out, link down below. And to update some of you, I just built a new test bench as a 750 watt HP server PSU with a regular ATX board and a 12 GPU mining frame. Okay, some of you guys may be wondering what thermal pads I'll be using, and of course we're gonna utilize the GPUrisers.com new 20 watt per meters Kelvin thermal pads. So I got a bunch of their 2mm ones and 3mm ones. So we're gonna see. I don't even know what size thermal pads I'll need for this Zotac 3080. So guys, let me go ahead. I'm gonna get my camera on a tripod and we'll take this thing apart. Let's go. Okay, let's begin. I am going to unscrew all the screws that are on the back first. So here we go. Okay, so I took out these 4 screws, the 2 over here, the 3 that was on the IO bracket, and I just took out the IO bracket. I may not need to take that out, but I did it anyway. So now I theoretically should be able to just pull this out, off. Oh, there we go. The heatsink part. Ooh, that is dirty. Yeah, we got some dust bunnies inside here. Okay, so next thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna unplug all the fan, I guess RGB and the fan ports here. There's one here, there's one over here. Okay, that's out, and there's one over here. There we go. Now I want to clean up. I'm gonna wipe off the original thermal paste using just some paper towels, tissues, and then afterwards I will rub off the residue with isopropyl alcohol. Okay, so let me do that right now. Here we go. Okay, next I want to now take out the backplate because we want to change the thermal pads on the back of this. So let me take out the screws for essentially the backplate. And then the backplate should just come right off. It's a little bit hard. There we go. There we go. And oh, there's a cable that we need to unplug that's kind of stuck. I'm assuming that's for the RGB. Okay, place this to the side. Okay, so this is the back. Look at that. And there's residue. There's a lot of residue from the stock thermal pads on the back as well. And if we look at the back of the Zotac, look at that. That's the thermal pads on here originally. Look at that. It's oily and black. Probably gonna rub off. You know what? Time to clean the back of this with rubbing alcohol. Okay, I think that looks good. We're going to now, we need to get the GPUrisers 3 mil. I believe this is 3 mil. Yeah, this is definitely 3 mil thermal pads on the back. So I do have some left from cutting from my other Zotac cards, 3070 Ti's. You guys probably saw that video. So let me cut them to spec, and we're just going to place them on top of the GPU. Then I'll put the backplate on. And there we go. Looks good. Now I want to put on the backplate. One thing I want to mention is I use rubbing alcohol to wipe and clean the top of this because there's also residue from the stock crappy Zotac thermal pads. So anyways, let's put on the backplate. Okay, backplate's on. I also put on this other like front heatsink before the, you know, the massive heatsink we're gonna have to do in a sec here. One thing I want to mention is that there is 2 more places where you need to change the thermal pads. And so on this front bracket here, I don't know if you guys can see it right there, but there's a strip of, I would say it would need 2.5 mil, but I put a 2 mil here. It looks like eyeing the old Zotac strip, which is horrible, by the way. Again, there is a lot of residue. Make sure I had to clean off the residue on the other side of this and on the chips here. So I put 2 mil there, and it looks like it is just like a perfect fit. It looks like though on the Zotac ones, these ones had to, they compressed from 2.5 down to 2 mil. So I think 2 mil is completely fine, but with the GPUrisers.com, if they had 2.5 mil, which I believe they will have very soon, then it will compress and have like a tighter fit per se. So that might help, but I guess, yeah, on this side too as well, you need to change, you need to have a long strip of 2 mil thermal pad right here. Okay, so now guys, we gotta put thermal pads on these chips right here, and then we'll put on the heatsink. Okay, so let me do that right now. Okay, 2 mil all around. We'll see if that works. Now we got to clean up the stock Zotac thermal pads here, which is, look at this crap. This is just, man, if Zotac ever watches this, they can see how crappy their thermal pads. Look at the residue that it leaves behind. It's just horrible. Oh, it's extremely hard to take off. And you see that? Look at that. Garbage, garbage. Okay. Gonna take it off, use rubbing alcohol, clean up the whole top side here, okay? Be right back. Look at the difference there. Yeah, using rubbing alcohol definitely cleaned this up a lot. You guys can see, look at how much I took off. Look at that. Horrible. Zotac thermal pads are horrible. Alright, guys, next step. I need to put this heatsink on, but we gotta apply some thermal paste to the GPU die. And so the stuff I'm gonna use, and I really like, there's 2 different options I really like recently. It's either the Arctic Silver 5, which I got here, or the Arctic MX5. Personally, I've used this my whole life, ever since I started building computers. for like the past like 15 years, and I like the Arctic Silver 5. And recently I've been using MX5 and it's been completely fine. This stuff is also really good. So I don't know which one I want to use. You know what? I'm gonna do Arctic Silver 5. I'm gonna try this and see, we'll see what the GPU temp is. And then obviously with the memory pads, we'll see what the mem temp is. Okay guys, let me put this all on, and I'm just gonna apply it like all over the GPU die, the thermal paste, and then put this back on, okay? And okay, it's all done. I have to say, putting the screws back in on this side was really easy, but on this side of this Zotac Trinity, it was a pain trying to get the screw into the hole here. This side wasn't too bad, but it was this side here where you have to kind of, you gotta like drop it in, and I tried like 20 times to get the screw in there. You guys can see I didn't have any like pliers or little tweezers to like drop the screw in. So some of you guys that are gonna do Trinity, Zotac Trinities may have that issue as well. But looking at the thermal pads, it looks like it's in there good, it's lined up, and guys, moment of truth. Let me go ahead, plug this in the mining rig. Let's go. There we go. It's on. And I just started mining, and let's see what the temperature is. Same batch file. I had the fan at 70%. I'm gonna keep the same thing. We're gonna see what the temperature is. Come on, show a hash. There we go, 100 mega hash. That's a good sign. Woo! There we go, 46 and 76 degrees Celsius on the mem. Oh man, we dropped from 100 to 76. Look at that. The power consumption's also lower, 221. Okay, it's back up to 80 now. We'll see if it goes any higher, but I just started it, okay? But you guys saw earlier, when in the beginning of the video, when I just started it, it was like 1 minute in, already 100 degrees Celsius on the mem temperatures. So, alright guys, you know what? I'm gonna let this go for another, I'm gonna say 15 minutes, and we'll see what the temp is. And the core temp is definitely a lot better as well. Okay, be right back. Okay, it's been about 11 minutes in, and the GPU is now at 57 degrees Celsius, and then the mem temp is at 86. It's stayed around this for the past, I would say, 8 minutes or so, as the temperatures have gone up as this thing has been mining, and I think it equalized at this point, and so that was great. We've dropped the mem temp quite a bit, I would say 14 degrees Celsius. If I was in a hotter room, the ambient temperature in here, if it was a lot hotter, then the mem temps would have been over 105 for sure. Now, the biggest thing I want to do is put this in my Octominer X8 Ultra Plus. So let me just show you guys my Hive OS for that rig. So you can see here, I have 7 other 3080 non-LHRs. These are actually all Asus Toughs. And I got a wide range of different Asus Toughs. Like, they're the same model, same brand, same everything. But when I do 2 of them, they're really bad silicon lottery. I can't go any higher in terms of memory overclock. Otherwise, they just crash, constantly crash. So I can only get up to 96 and 95 on those 2. But the other 5 Asus Toughs, they are fine. I can get over 100 mega hash on those. And you guys can see the power consumptions, they range all different. And you can see my overclock settings are the same. Some of you out there were asking, like, Red Panda, I can get like maybe 215 watts on my 3080 non-LHR, or some other people get like 220 or 225. And I have to tell you guys, I've had a lot of experience with a lot of non-LHR 3080s, and let me tell you, they are all different. Seriously, all different power consumptions. If I were to fine tweak them, it would still constantly, some of them would stay at the same power limit. Maybe a little bit less, a little bit more if I were to change the core, but ultimately they all are different. Like, they don't take the exact same power consumption as, let's say, someone else that had an MSI Trio or an EVGA for the Win 3. I actually have an Asus Strix 3080 non-LHR, and it does like 255 or 260 watts at the same mega hash number. So that one is power clocked really high. I guess it's from the factory, it's a lot higher, takes a lot more power. Anyways guys, I'm gonna shut this rig down and I'm gonna take this out and put it in my Octominer X8 Plus. Let's go over there. All right, you guys can see there's the Zotac 3080, and there are all my other Asus Strix. This is probably the last time we're gonna see this rig. These GPUs are gonna stay in this Octominer probably for the next, I don't know, couple years, maybe 5 years, I don't know. But let's see how it performs. I'm gonna put the lid back on, turn it on, and we'll see what it hashes in here. Okay, there are all the 8 3080s. There's the lonely Zotac. And this rig has been running for about an hour now. Okay, so that is all well and good. And you guys can see the results here. I did try something funny. I put the fan speed at 70. So the same thing that I had when I was running this rig on Windows. And you can see here, it's now at 100.3 mega hash. It stayed there, so that's really good, but the temperature is at 64 degrees Celsius, so it must be a little bit hotter on, it is hotter on the GPU core, but the memory temperature, which we can't see in HiveOS obviously, it's obviously not thermal throttling, so that is a good sign. That is a really good sign. So yeah, that worked, guys. That worked, changing the thermal pads. Here is the aftermath, I guess the devastation of changing the thermal pads on a GPU, lots of tissues and crap everywhere. But yeah, GPUrisers thermal pads, I love them. Works really great. 3 mil on the back, and yeah, seems like 2 mil on the front. Worked just fine. Completely fine. Alright guys, that's it for this video. You can see here I put the Zotac LHR on my test bench here, and it's mining. I wanted to see, since I have Windows on my test bench, I wanted to see the memory temp on this LHR GPU, and it's at like 84, so that's pretty good. And the 3080 Ti, I don't know why it's getting 44 mega hash, but that's something I'm gonna figure out in another video. And I don't know if I have to change the thermal pads on this or not, but we will see. All right, my friends, thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one, and peace out.